during the Cold War with my wife. She threw a divorce agreement at me out of anger. I directly signed my name on it, but my wife showed contempt. She thought that like before, I was just pretending to sign to make her angry. She acted indifferent and returned to her room, then continued to be immersed in the Cold War, even to provoke me. She even took our son to move in with her first love. I wasn't angry at all, but took the divorce agreement directly to the marriage registration office. Mr. Su, this divorce agreement has legal effect. Once signed, the marriage will automatically end after 1 month. I sat in front of the computer for legal consultation support, received the desired result, said thank you, and logged off. I limped to open the room door. A pile of photos fell from the door. The sharp edge cut my cheek. I felt numb, looking at the family photo in my hand. My wife Lin Wanqing smiled brightly, showing the gentleness I had never seen before marriage. My son Zixuan, whom I raised for 5 years, happy as if radiating light everywhere. The funny thing is, in this family photo, the man standing in the middle is not me, but Lu Jingming, Lin Wanqing's first love. Obviously, this was Zixuan's prank, since Lu Jingming returned to the country 6 months ago. I became extremely redundant in this family. Today is my birthday, also the 5th wedding anniversary. Lin Wanqing casually found an excuse to be angry, told me to stay home and think carefully, then took our son and left. I saw on Lu Jingming's social media, the 3 of them had gone to an amusement park. The family of 3 was having a great time. In the photo, Lin Wanqing, who is usually very clean, knelt on the ground, helping Lu Jingming adjust his trouser cuffs. Like a sharp sword stabbing straight into my heart, I was in so much pain, I couldn't breathe, thinking about how I had sacrificed everything for this family. In the end, I was just paving the way for someone else. I felt extremely tragic. I sat at the table, looking at the candle on the birthday cake, gradually burning out before my eyes. The world became dark. I was like a statue, standing motionless in this cold, heartless house. I don't know how much time passed. The living room light suddenly turned on. Lin Wanqing and her son entered the house. When she saw me, a flash of disgust appeared in her eyes. Lin Wanqing threw the gift box in her hand at me with an annoyed face. Who told you to cook with lard? You know I eat light food. Don't do that again next time. This is your birthday gift. After saying this, she raised her head waiting for my thanks. I glanced at the gift box, laughing bitterly in my heart. The so-called gift was just an advertising watch, the really valuable one. Lu Jingming had already shown off on his social media, a limited edition Patek Philippe. Lin Wanqing saw I had no reaction, angry to the point of changing color, angrily. I work hard outside to earn money to support the family. If you can't help, that's fine, but you still show attitude toward me. I shouldn't have married you, this useless man, from the beginning. Tonight you sleep in the storage room, until you realize your mistakes. If not, don't beg me for forgiveness. After saying this, she angrily went into the room. Zixuan giggled, pouring cake on my head, smugly said, "Today I went to the amusement park with Uncle Liu, had so much fun. Dad is just a servant helping me. Quickly divorce mom and get lost." I looked at this son I had carefully cared for 5 years. Even a small scratch would pain me to death. Now he didn't hide his hatred toward me at all. I couldn't help but shudder. Indeed, wolf cubs cannot be tamed. Zixuan wasn't like this before. A 5-year-old child. How could he understand? Since Lu Jingming returned to the country 6 months ago, he had secretly instigated Zixuan on how to torment me. But what really chilled my heart was Lin Wanqing's reaction. She clearly knew what I had contributed to this family, yet let her son talk nonsense. Zixuan saw I had no reaction, mocking. Uncle Lu said Dad is indeed useless, not even getting angry at this. Really deserves it. After saying this, the boy skipped back to his room. The living room became quiet again. I didn't say a word from beginning to end. I no longer needed to hold hope for this ungrateful mother and son. I slowly stood up, limping to the small storage room under the stairs. This was the only place I could be free in the house, because it was very dirty. The mother and son never came in. I remained cold, threw Lin Wanqing's gift into the trash, then took out a document from the drawer. Last week, Lin Wanqing and I had a big fight over Lu Jingming. Lin Wanqing immediately presented the divorce agreement. She was sure I couldn't leave her, so she kept using every method to humiliate me. Zixuan also cooperated in the performance. This time, I finally understood. A stone that cannot be warmed is useless. Raising someone who cannot be tamed is ungrateful. I picked up the pen, signed my name on the agreement, writing in one go, wife and child, along with this house. I no longer need any of it. The night wind blew through the window. The storage room was a bit cold. I lay down without taking off my clothes. The obsession that had weighed on me for years disappeared. My body became light. Before, worry about gain and loss always kept me awake. Now I felt very sleepy. Unfortunately, just as I was about to fall asleep, a hand was placed on my waist, gently caressing. I opened my eyes, saw Lin Wanqing's eyes full of desire. I understood what she wanted. Before, I was always the one taking initiative. Lin Wanqing was always impatient in response, but facing Lin Wanqing's first initiative, my heart was extremely calm. My body had no reaction at all. The woman before me was like a block of ice. Lin Wanqing frowned, annoyed. "What's wrong?" I removed her hand, then closed my eyes again. Lin Wanqing was so angry she trembled, as if insulted, furious. Still angry about what happened during the day? I already explained. Lu Jingming is in the past. Why do you keep clinging and won't let go? What answered her was my steady breathing. In the dark storage room, Lin Wanqing's angry eyes flashed. She gritted her teeth. Don't be so shameless. Don't beg me next time. Along with the sound of the door slamming hard, I paid no attention. Unlike before, whenever Lin Wanqing was slightly unhappy, I would immediately be afraid and try to please her, kneeling down begging for forgiveness. After letting go of the obsession, I was no longer controlled by her emotions. This night, I fell into deep sleep. This was the first peaceful sleep in 7 years. The next morning, after waking up, I didn't immediately prepare breakfast for the mother and son, but made a cup of tea, enjoying my free time. A cool breeze blew gently. Tea flowers outside the window bloomed. It would surely be a beautiful sunny day. I opened my phone to look, hoping the next 29 days would pass happily. No longer sad because of that mother and son. No longer crying for them either. Lu Jingming's social media had a new update. Wanqing didn't forget. There will definitely be a response, as long as you need. I can always appear in time. Thank heaven and earth for this gift. The attached photo was a tall silhouette cooking porridge in the kitchen, deliberately edited with a heart added. I only needed one glance to know the woman cooking porridge was Lin Wanqing. She was wearing pajamas, revealing the red mole on her left wrist. Since getting married, Lin Wanqing always had severe cleanliness obsession, always stayed away from the kitchen, never cooked a meal for me. Now she's cooking porridge for her first love. Her skillfulness is astonishing. Time passed peacefully. My heart was very calm. My eyes glanced over once, then locked the screen. Whether Lin Wanqing was deliberately taking revenge on me for last night's rejection, or was eager to be cared for by her first love, I no longer cared. Where's my breakfast? A dissatisfied voice came from behind. Zi Xuan walked out of the bedroom, discovering there was no exquisite breakfast on the table as usual, his small face full of anger, shouting at me. I am hungry. Go make it quickly. I turned around, silently met the boy's eyes, clearly sensing this 5-year-old child had the same arrogant attitude as his mother. They always treated me like a house servant. I pointed to the refrigerator, coldly said, Go get it yourself. Zi Xuan was stunned, had never seen me so cold, standing there, not knowing what to do, but quickly thought of their positions. Angrily, Dad is my servant, not making food for me. I'll tell Mom to punish Dad. I calmly looked at Zi Xuan. A wolf cub ultimately cannot be tamed. The more I yielded, the more excessive he became. Fortunately, I no longer had any hope for him. If you want to eat, go find Uncle.lu. My good mood was ruined. I was too lazy to react to his screaming, went into the study to pack things. Everything related to me had to be thrown away to make room for Lu Jingming. Over these years, Lin Wanqing gave me very few gifts, but even if they were just worthless little items, I treasured them all like precious things. Unfortunately, these things only made me feel disgusted now. I selected a bag full of gifts, walked out of the villa. Just happened to meet Lin Wanqing, not returning home overnight. Lin Wanqing was stunned. A flash of embarrassment and inferiority appeared in her eyes, wanting to explain a few words. I ignored her, walked straight toward the trash can. Lin Wanqing frowned, dissatisfied. Last night Jingming had a depression relapse. I just went to comfort him. Don't overthink it. I dared to admit it. I have nothing to be ashamed of. So you won't overthink it, right? I didn't want to hear Lin Wanqing's fake justifications. Threw things into the trash can because I used too much force. A doll bounced out. Lin Wanqing recognized the doll's origin. Her expression turned ugly. Unbelievable. What do you mean? I don't know why. My silence made her feel inexplicable anxiety. My expression unchanged. Smiled and said, the things got moldy. Keeping them in the villa will breed bacteria. Not good for health. So just throw them away. Lin Wanqing looked suspicious, but didn't think much of it. Nodded and entered the house. I still waited outside the door until the garbage truck took those gifts away, ensuring they had no hope of being retrieved. Only then did I turn around. The gifts Lin Wanqing gave me. Even this person herself had gone moldy. Moldy things should be thrown as far away as possible. I returned to the villa. Lin Wanqing took a box of porridge from her bag, casually threw it on the table, said, Yesterday I reacted a bit strongly, but you shouldn't make things difficult for Jingming. This is porridge. I personally cooked for you. After drinking it, go apologize to Jingming. Lin Wanqing's 10 fingers never touched cold water, thinking this time I would surely be moved to tears. Just looking at the bowl of cold porridge, I mocked myself in my heart. How cowardly was I in the end, to let Lin Wanqing trample on my dignity like this? These things were just Lu Jingming's leftovers. Lin Wanqing brought them to me as a reward. I looked calmly, without any expression. Lin Wanqing showed impatience, angrily. What do you want to do in the end? I already gave you a way out. Don't be ungrateful. Being outside earning money all day is troublesome enough. You staying at home. Can you have some vision? I said coldly. I am allergic to seafood. Lin Wanqing was stunned. Finally, she remembered. A flash of embarrassment appeared on her face, but seeing my uncomfortable expression, couldn't help getting angry. It's just seafood allergy. It won't kill you. Why so many demands? Lin Wanqing saw me continuously opposing her. She didn't know when to stop after winning. Immediately got furious. Grabbed the bowl of porridge and forced it into my mouth. I didn't expect her to be so crazy, having already eaten quite a bit initially. Hurriedly vomited on the floor. I have severe seafood allergy. Even light contact causes problems. At this moment, I couldn't breathe, lying on the floor extremely uncomfortable. Throat breaking out in blisters, skin developing red rashes. Lin Wanqing disdainfully. acting pitiful, playing tricks with me every day. I think you're as handsome as Jingming. You're just a useless old cripple now. If there's a way out, take it quickly. When I kick you out of the house, even if you regret and beg me, it's useless. Mom, help Uncle Lu get revenge. Zizwan stepped forward and kicked me, laughing happily. Dad, think carefully at home. If you cause trouble again next time, don't blame me for being merciless. Lin Wanqing led her son away. I didn't look at me once. The villa was silent, the sound of the car engine outside like death calling souls. I had difficulty breathing, using my last strength. Finally called 120. I endured for more than 10 minutes, then lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was lying in the hospital, smelling the pungent disinfectant. Understood I had barely survived, thinking of Lin Wanqing cruelly leaving me lying on the floor waiting to die. Although I had given up on the mother and son, I still felt so uncomfortable I couldn't breathe. My heart felt like it was pressed by a boulder, weighing thousands of pounds. Outside the hospital window, the sound of sparrows chirping came through. I watched the bird hopping on branches, eyes flashing with intense longing. 28 more days. I would be completely free. Go to a place without that evil mother and son. Face the sea. Spring warmth with flowers blooming. Be a happy person. Dr. Wang entered the hospital room, interrupting my thoughts, his expression extremely dissatisfied. Said, "You had anaphylactic shock. If not rescued in time, you would have died." Without waiting for me to speak, he frowned. "We found in your phone contact information for family. Called them. Not only did they not come to the hospital to visit, they even cursed you to die. Must be your wife." I shook my head, said softly, "In 20-something more days, shall be my ex-wife." Dr. Wang sensed my sad mood, associating it with our marital relationship. Showed understanding. Sighed, "No matter how bad the marital relationship is, life cannot be disregarded. Be careful next time." I forced a smile, thinking of course be careful. From now on, never allow Lin Wanqing to hurt me again. Been a dog for 7 years. From now on, I want to be human. Stayed in the hospital for 3 days. Lin Wanqing didn't call me once. Dr. Wang couldn't stand it. Helplessly said, "Even if divorcing, after the cooling off period, coming to sign would be fine." I didn't answer, but looked out the window. Silently said nothing. Disappointed too many times. My heart had long rotted. No energy left to be sad. Dr. Wang shook his head, said to himself, "That's right too. A woman who curses her husband to die when he's hospitalized, whether she comes or not, makes no difference." After saying this, the doctor left. I wasn't sad, but happy to have peace. Didn't have to serve that heartless mother and son. Also didn't need to see that disgusting family of 3. Actually, the scene was quite good. When the doctor announced I could be discharged, I was reluctant. If I could stay another 20-something days, then be discharged, I could leave this city. Unfortunately, the hospital had regulations. I could only comply. When I returned home, I discovered the villa was empty. The milk on the floor had molded. The air was full of stench. The bloodstains left behind had turned black. Horrifyingly eerie. I suddenly realized Lin Wanqing had taken her son with her first love. These past few days they hadn't come home. No wonder there was no contact these days. She was deliberately having a cold war with me. Every time I didn't obey, she would disappear for a few days. I would kneel down, begging for reconciliation. I recalled when she forced me to drink seafood porridge. Her fierce face still appeared before my eyes. Couldn't help but sigh. A person could be so evil. Lu Jingming's social media updated. Again, posted a photo. A family of 3 strolling by the sea. Big hand holding small hand. Caption, "Time passes so peacefully. If it were before, I would surely be jealous to madness. But at this moment my heart had no ripples. The 3 of them were very well matched. After I leave, they should get married immediately. Don't harm other people." I had just locked my phone, then received a voice recording. "Zizwan, you came to the beach with uncle to relax. If your dad knew, would he be angry?" This was Lu Jingming's voice, carrying a boastful smile. "Dad is an ugly servant. Has no qualification to control me. Classmates at kindergarten. Their dads are all tall and handsome. My dad is a cripple. I feel ashamed." Zizwan's tone was full of hatred. Angrily said. Lu Jingming asked again, "So do you like uncle or like dad?" Zixuan enthusiastically, "Definitely like Uncle Lu. I hope dad divorces quickly, gets out of this house. Then Uncle Lu can be with mom. Actually, mom really likes uncle. I like uncle too. Can Uncle Lu be my new dad?" Lu Jingming pretended to be troubled. "That won't do. If your dad heard, he'd be sad to death." Zixuan coldly laughed. "Death would be good. Best if last year when saving me he broke a leg. If only he'd been run over and died." Although I was already disappointed in my son, but hearing the boy's vicious words, I couldn't help trembling all over. Clearly an innocent child's voice. How could it be so cold and cruel? Lu Jingming sent another voice recording. "Wanqing and your son are both with me now. What face do you have left to stay? Get lost quickly." My heart had been broken long ago, so I was completely indifferent to Lu Jingming's provocation. Not like he expected me to scream frantically, in pain wanting to die. I felt numb. Organized the gifts I planned to give ZX1. Threw them straight into the trash. The wife who nearly killed me. Didn't care about my life or death. Went to Sanya with her first love to relax. The son I cared for 5 years, to exchange for a new dad. Also cursed me to die. I glanced at my broken left leg, mocked myself. This might be heaven's greatest revenge on a bootlicker. I looked at the date. 20 more days until escape. In these 20 days, I must love myself well. Since getting married, I revolved around that mother and son every day. My life completely didn't belong to me, but like a house dog, even worse than a dog. So in the following days, Lin Wanqing continued the Cold War, forcing me to bow my head. I visited most scenic spots in the city, rode boats on the 100-mile Willow River, visited Yang Lia's ancestral hall, also climbed Cloud Peak to watch sunrise. Standing on the boat running on Willow River, feeling the natural scenery, I suddenly felt, before, I wasn't living life at all, but was treated like a slave. Not just time, life and death couldn't be controlled. On Cloud Peak, I watched sunrise with a group of young friends, feeling my own smallness. The so-called love and family affection were just the biggest lies in the world. I think people should love themselves. I returned from Cloud Peak, deliberately chose a restaurant located by the most expensive lake. During these married years, Lin Wanqing despised me being a cripple, couldn't show my face, never took me out. When Lin Wanqing and I struggled back up, I had accumulated quite a bit of money, also had 5% company shares. I chose a window seat with the best view, enjoyed the lake scenery, tasted delicious food. Sighed, this was real life. Unfortunately, this wonderful feeling, when I saw Lin Wanqing walk in, 3 people appeared, immediately attracted most customers' attention. The couple looked very well matched. In the middle was a cute, handsome child, probably often came to high-end restaurants. They knew quite a few people. Soon they sat at a table together. So it's CEO, Lin. Your husband is so handsome, usually don't bring him out. Afraid others will be envious? Friends joked around. Lin Wanqing's face turned slightly red, secretly glanced at Lu Jingming, didn't deny it. To everyone NAU, Jingming actively chatted with everyone. Polite words, added to his handsome appearance, made him even more likable. There was also Zixuan beside him covering, continuously calling dad, confirming they were a family of 3. Lin Wanqing was immersed in everyone's flattery, didn't notice me not far away. My expression was calm, looking at the scene before me, emotions completely undisturbed, held the wine glass gently swirling. They returned from Sanya, seemed to have had a good time. I originally wanted to stand up and leave, but that would seem deliberate, as if I were the third party. So I enjoyed the scenery outside. Lu Jingming, after dealing with others, suddenly saw me, eyes lit up, bent down and whispered in Lin Wanqing's ear, "You've worked hard these days. Without you, I really wouldn't know what to do." Lin Wanqing quickly said, "Jingming, I don't say that. Can we not be so formal?" Lu Jingming deliberately drew closer, cheek almost touching the others, acting extremely intimate. Lin Wanqing's heart beat faster, lowered her head looking at the wine glass. Cheers erupted nearby. The group of friends encouraged, wanting to see the two being affectionate, laughingly said, "Kiss. Kiss." Zixuan clapped his little hands. "Mom, kiss uncle." Lin Wanqing angrily looked at Lu Jingming, seemed to blame him, wanting to speak but hesitating. The 3 of Lin Wanqing appeared, immediately attracted most customers' attention. The couple looked very well matched. In the middle was a cute child, often came to high-end restaurants. They knew quite a few people. Soon they sat at a table together. So it's CEO Lin. Your husband is so handsome. Usually don't bring him out. Afraid others will be envious? Friends joked around. Lin Wanqing's face turned slightly red, secretly glanced at Lu Jingming. I didn't deny it. Lu Jingming actively chatted with everyone. Polite words, added to his handsome appearance, made him even more likable. There was also Zixuan beside him covering, continuously calling dad, confirming they were a family of 3. Lin Wanqing was immersed in everyone's flattery, didn't notice me not far away. My expression was calm, looking at the scene before me, emotions completely undisturbed, held the wine glass gently swirling. They returned from Sanya, seemed to have had a good time. I originally wanted to stand up and leave, but that would seem deliberate, as if I were the third party. So I enjoyed the scenery outside. Lu Jingming, after dealing with others, suddenly saw me, eyes lit up, bent down and whispered in Lin Wanqing's ear, "You've worked hard these days. Without you, I really wouldn't know what to do." Lin Wanqing quickly said, "Jingming, I don't say that. Can we not be so formal?" Lu Jingming deliberately drew closer, cheek almost touching the others, acting extremely intimate. Lin Wanqing's heart beat faster, lowered her head looking at the wine glass. Cheers erupted nearby. The group of friends encouraged, wanting to see the two being affectionate, laughingly said, "Kiss, kiss." Zixuan clapped his little hands. "Mom, kiss. Uncle." Lin Wanqing angrily looked at Lu Jingming, seemed to blame him. Her wanting to speak but hesitating expression made Lu Jingming's heart flutter. Added to me watching him not far away, felt extremely excited. He directly sealed Lin Wanqing's lips, kissed passionately. Lin Wanqing opened her eyes wide, initially resisted a bit, wanted to push away, but as Lu Jingming's hot breath spread, gradually became intoxicated. The restaurant erupted in cheers, applauding this affectionate couple. Only I sat there, completely out of harmony with the surrounding world, coldly watched them perform. My heart had no ripples. Lin Wanqing's eyes were hazy, tightly hugged Lu Jingming's face, her face overflowing with happiness. I had never seen her with such gentle and affectionate attitude. It seemed Lin Wanqing wasn't always cold, but depended on the target. Before me, she was always an arrogant queen. Before Lu Jingming, she was gentle as water. 2 people so affectionate must have good news soon. I thought about hiding the divorce from myself. Felt really meaningless. I stood up and walked outside, thinking when Lin Wanqing came home tonight, she would surely take initiative to mention divorce. Lin Wanqing looked up, just happened to see me leaving. A flash of panic appeared on her face, unconsciously wanted to stand up. She didn't expect to accidentally meet me at the restaurant. Frowned. Lu Jingming sensed Lin Wanqing's attitude, seemed quite concerned about this cripple me, felt dissatisfied, so sighed, pretended to be innocent. Sorry, you're too charming. I couldn't help myself. Just now there was someone who looked like Suje. He must have misunderstood. Let me go apologize to him. Lin Wanqing's expression turned ugly. HMPH. Won't stay home to think. All day knows only. Jealousy. I don't care what he wants to think. After saying this, sat back down, but my sad figure appeared in her mind. She immediately felt confused. Couldn't hear clearly what Lu Jingming said beside her. Lin Wanqing's expression changed. Finally sent me a message. Lu Jingming originally thought he had won for sure, clearly felt during the subsequent reception. Lin Wanqing's mind wasn't there. Occasionally looked at her phone, waiting for my reply. The gathering quickly ended. Lin Wanqing led her unhappy son. Didn't agree to Lu Jingming's movie invitation. Hurriedly went home. I had just returned home. Sat on the sofa, drinking water. Lin Wanqing immediately walked through the door. Four eyes met. Lin Wanqing took a deep breath, prepared for me to make trouble. But after a long stalemate, she didn't wait for my questions. She discovered my calmness was somewhat strange. Lin Wanqing's expression turned ugly. She had hurriedly left, rejected Lu Jingming, originally because of some remaining guilt in her heart. But now I showed a dead person's face. She felt annoyed seeing it. She frowned, took a gift box from her bag, threw it on the sofa, said, "If it weren't for you, Jingming wouldn't have had a depression relapse. I wouldn't have gone to relax with him either. Not only do you not apologize, you even follow us to the restaurant. Isn't that disgusting?" I didn't look at the gift. My eyes fell on Lin Wanqing's face, wondering when she would mention divorce. I could quickly pack up and leave. Unfortunately, Lin Wanqing seemed to forget about the restaurant incident, launched a surprise attack, pushed all the blame onto me. I sighed inwardly. It seemed ending the marriage early was impossible. Still had to wait 20 days. Lin Wanqing's expression changed slightly. Before, she only needed to get angry. I would panic, unconditionally give in. Even if she reversed black and white, I would only admit fault. Me at this moment, clearly before her eyes, but seemed very distant. She felt somewhat puzzled. Lin Wanqing didn't like the feeling of me escaping her control. Said, "I've said many times, with Jingming it's just friendship. Why do you keep clinging and won't let go? Having such thoughts, wouldn't self-improvement be better?" I smiled and nodded. Said, "You're right. I really should improve myself." Lin Wanqing was stunned, felt I was surely jealous, but couldn't conveniently mention the restaurant incident. She was simply very angry, overturned everything on the table. I just silently watched. Didn't stop her. Lin Wanqing gritted her teeth. "Can you stop showing attitude? Every time I come home, I am very tired. Still have to see your attitude. Think for yourself. Without me, could you live a wealthy life? If not for looking at our son's face, I would have kicked you out long ago. Someone disabled like you would starve to death on the street." I heard Lin Wanqing's personal attacks. Didn't refute. Helplessly said, "I said it's really fine, isn't it?" Lin Wanqing fell silent. She thought I was making trouble. Coming home hastily to explain, was already giving great face. "Why are you so hot-tempered? Remember, you owe Jingming an apology. If you don't apologize, then stay in the storage room for life. How do you know what you look like now? Like a sewer rat." Lin Wanqing angrily went upstairs. Zi Jiwan glared at me, raised his little head hatefully saying, "Dad is bad," making Uncle Lu and Mom angry. "Why are you still stubbornly staying home? Quickly divorce and leave. I want Uncle Lu to be my dad." I looked into my son's eyes and smiled. "Don't worry, Uncle Lu will soon become your dad." After saying this, I walked into the storage room, counting the time until departure. Zi Xuan came knocking on the door, ordering me to warm milk toward this ungrateful person. I closed my eyes, only said one sentence, "Go find your Uncle Lu." Zi Xuan was very angry, punching the door while cursing. I was already immune long ago. Just wanted to quickly leave this house without family affection, without warmth. I looked through the small window at the night sky outside. My mind had already flown far away, started missing my hometown. Perhaps to punish my ignorance, Lin Wanqing disappeared with her son for the next few days. Didn't need to guess they went to find Lu Jingming. She wanted to use this method to make me suffer to death. Before leaving, she warned if I didn't go kneel and apologize to Jingming. Almost said double happiness at the door. Not coming back would be best, but I had endured. The divorce cooling off period was about to end. Didn't want to create complications. I cleaned the house spotlessly. When there was nothing to do, lay in the yard sunbathing, leisurely and carefree. Midnight, I received a provocative video Lu Jingming sent in my house. The three of them wore family pajamas playing pillow fight. Two adults hugged Ezi Xuan's little head. Bright, happy smiles. Lu Jingming continuously used these videos to stimulate me, hoping I would quickly get lost. I didn't reply, but ordered takeout of no value. Lin Wanqing couldn't wait for my apology. Became even more angry. These days continuously stayed at Lu Jingming's house. Also arranged for him to take a high position in the company. Deliberately showed affection on social media. Said ambiguous words. I just found it funny. Why not announce it officially? Forgot Lin Wanqing hadn't divorced yet. I would soon fulfill his wish. As days passed, I had become completely immune to Lin Wanqing's stimulation, even when my son caught a cold. Lin Wanqing deliberately told me to buy medicine. I also ignored it. I only said one sentence: if sick, go see a doctor, then didn't care anymore. Lin Wanqing was furious. Before I hung up, cursed many unpleasant words. Rather than being internally consumed by someone who doesn't care, better to treat myself well. 3 more days until the divorce cooling off period ended. I was extremely looking forward to it. These days, mother and son Lin Wanqing weren't home. I lived very comfortably. This was the most comfortable time in many years, and I had planned to sell the shares in my hands to go to my hometown without worrying about money for living. Lin Wanqing always looked down on my abilities, said I was useless, but she completely didn't think. Initially, when the Lin family company went bankrupt, who used glass after glass of strong liquor to negotiate, she also forgot the contracts I signed. I always owned 5% of company shares, every year, through dividends. I had a considerable income. I had planned to sell the shares, currently looking for suitable buyers. When I chose to leave, I planned to completely cut ties with them. Tonight, I deliberately ordered a bottle of good wine. Footsteps sounded outside. Thought the takeout arrived, so stood up to open the door. But opening the door, I met Lin Wanqing, mother and son. Perhaps because of the impending divorce, I found them more pleasing to the eye, but still cold. Lin Wanqing had been outside for more than 10 days, waiting for me to bow my head. But I was no longer like before, crying and begging, don't leave, but completely changed attitude. Unusually cold. Lin Wanqing, though stupid, also understood I had changed. I don't know why. An inexplicable fear arose in her heart. I was hatefully obedient. She had even mentioned divorce many times, but my coldness made people uneasy. It wasn't that Lin Wanqing cared about me much, but just felt I was pitiful. Lin Wanqing knew very well how much I loved her. Absolutely couldn't leave her. So this time she dared to boldly hurt me. This time she came back early, planning to give me a way out, hoping I wouldn't make trouble anymore. I thought bringing her son home I would be moved to tears, crying in repentance. But what did she see? My face didn't hide any disappointment. Wasn't I waiting for them to come home? Lin Wanqing's expression was gloomy, laughed angrily. You seem unwelcoming to our return, keeping another woman at home? I don't know. Do you? Turned and went to the storage room. Clearly Lin Wanqing was having an affair, yet treated me as the same kind. I felt saying one more word was wasting time, but still 3 more days before leaving. Didn't want to get entangled with her anymore. Lin Wanqing looked at my back. Expression changed. The feeling of losing control grew stronger. Since getting married, never had such panic surge in her mind, especially seeing me walk with a limp. In her mind appeared the past. After the Lin family went bankrupt, everyone left. Even the beloved Lu Jingming abandoned her and left. Only I stayed by her side. I no longer cared about Lin Wanqing's thoughts. Stayed in the storage room until evening. Felt at this time, the mother and son wouldn't be able to resist going to find Lu Jingming, so stepped out, but saw cooked rice already on the table. Lin Wanqing, busy in the kitchen, said, just one more soup dish and it'll be ready. I stood stunned in place. Complex expression. This was the scene I had dreamed of for years. Always wanted to have a warm family. Unfortunately, it was too late. I sat down looking at the food before me. Didn't pick up chopsticks. Lin Wanqing changed her attitude. Caringly asked, what's wrong? I said coldly, I am allergic to seafood. The whole table is seafood feast that Lu Jingming likes. Lin Wanqing remembered all his preferences, but always ignored mine. Lin Wanqing's expression turned ugly, wanted to get angry, but held back. Since I stopped arguing and making trouble, Lin Wanqing always felt she couldn't understand me, like sand flowing through hands. I felt perhaps during this time she was harsh to me, or those past difficult moments stirred compassion. Felt Lin Wanqing didn't continue making things difficult, even directly held back from pouring food on me. I sighed inwardly about Lin Wanqing being able to restrain herself. Couldn't help but admire. Conversely, felt somewhat unaccustomed. Lin Wanqing rarely helped me pick up food, said, this time has wronged you. I almost didn't recognize her. Zizhuan beside opened his eyes wide. Couldn't believe mom would treat a servant so well. Lin Wanqing took 2 opera tickets from her bag. It was my favorite show. Said, last time on your birthday, I didn't go with you. This time to make up for it. I looked at the opera tickets. Didn't take them. Was this belated affection? I didn't think so. Perhaps my acting wasn't good enough for Lin Wanqing to sense something. A slap followed by candy. Just a habit. Lin Wanqing was about to speak. Footsteps sounded outside. Lu Jingming naturally arrived, carrying a bag of toys. Zishuan cheered, directly jumped onto Lu Jingming's back, called out, thank you, Dad. Lin Wanqing's expression changed slightly, quickly said, Zishuan, don't call randomly. Zishuan raised his little head. I want Uncle Lu to be my dad. Don't like the crippled babysitter. Lin Wanqing was so angry her face turned ugly. Pulled her son into the room to scold. Lu Jingming glanced at me. One look fell on the opera tickets. Hatred arose in his heart. Suddenly smiled sinisterly. You think you've won? Next I'll show you who Wanqing cares about most. I calmly looked at Lu Jingming, clearly sensed the other's jealousy. Shook my head. Actually, you don't need to compete. I no longer care. Lu Jingming laughed coldly. Said, well said. Don't care but still cling to Wanqing. I see you don't want to give up the wealthy life. Last time, I deliberately told her to bring seafood porridge back, forced you to eat it. How did it feel? I trembled all over, stared at Lu Jingming, my heart filled with sorrow. Even Lu Jingming remembered I was allergic to seafood. Lin Wanqing was stupidly used as a tool, without awareness. How little Lin Wanqing cared in the end. Before I could speak, Lin Wanqing let her son out, sternly. Suji, I've already educated Zi Swan. Usually spoiled too much. I'll go change clothes. Later we'll go see the opera. Lu Jingming quickly said, Wanqing, I came to invite you to see a movie. Lin Wanqing was stunned, expression troubled. She vaguely felt something was wrong with me, so planned to mend the relationship. If she favored Lu Jingming again, might make me leave. Although Lin Wanqing had absolute confidence, I couldn't leave her, but she thought it over, shook her head and said, next time then. After all, I promised Suji first. After saying this, went upstairs to change clothes. Lu Jingming's expression changed, angrily clenched his fists. Before, Lin Wanqing obeyed him in everything. This time she disagreed. He felt the danger, fiercely glared at me. What method did you finally use? I didn't bother competing with him. For a scoundrel, no need to waste energy. But my silence, in Lu Jingming's eyes, belonged to provocation. Lu Jingming's expression became crazy, took a box from the toy bag, but inside was clearly seafood porridge. Before I could react, he rushed forward. He forcibly poured seafood porridge into my mouth. I lay face down on the ground vomiting, but level 5 allergy was extremely fast. My throat immediately broke out in blisters, and my whole body developed red rashes, more terrible than last time. I couldn't breathe, trembling on the floor. Lu Jingming laughed viciously. I'll show you who Wanqing cares about most. After saying this, lay down on the ground provocatively. Just as Lin Wanqing came downstairs, Lu Jingming screamed and rolled on the floor. Lin Wanqing's expression completely changed, seeing two men lying on the floor. One was me with red rashes all over, unable to breathe. The one was him holding his head, crying nonstop. Her first love. She didn't know how to choose. I was almost suffocating. Last time the doctor said I couldn't have allergic reactions again in a short time. Otherwise, it would be life-threatening. I gritted my teeth and said, Wanqing, quickly take me to the hospital, otherwise I'll die. Lin Wanqing quickly nodded, but taking out her phone was interrupted by Lu Jingming's crying. Wanqing, I suddenly feel very painful. I don't want to live anymore. My head is about to explode. Zi Swan pointed at me shouting, Mom, just now Dad provoked Uncle Lu. Made Uncle so angry he got sick. See who Mom cares about more. Now Dad is acting. Let's quickly take Uncle Lu away. Lin Wanqing changed color, angrily looked at me. You disappoint me too much. Originally planned to compensate you. Now I see it's unnecessary. After saying this, didn't let me explain. Immediately led Lu Jingming away. She looked at me with eyes full of coldness and anger, turned to face Lu Jingming with love and concern. I lay on the floor staring blankly at the ceiling. Endless despair arose. When Ziwan reversed black and white for Lu Jingming, my world fell into endless darkness. Lin Wanqing once again left me at home to die. I couldn't help mocking myself. Why did I still hold hope for her? I used all my strength to crawl to the storage room, took the medicine Dr. Wang prescribed last time and swallowed it quickly, finally reduced the symptoms, seized the life-saving time. I called an ambulance, couldn't endure anymore and fainted. When I woke up, it was still the same Dr. Wang. We stared at each other wide-eyed, my face full of bitter smiles. Dr. Wang shrugged. Do young people nowadays play like this, joking with their lives? I didn't refute, but looked out the window, slowly closed my eyes. The divorce cooling-off period ended. Today, I was discharged from the hospital. Lin Wanqing didn't call, probably taking care of Lu Jingming. I returned home. On the floor remained the seafood porridge stain Lu Jingming used to try to kill me, already dried, like a mocking face. I numbly went to the storage room, took the luggage I had prepared long ago, left the divorce agreement on the table, stepped out the house door. Standing outside the big gate, I turned to look back. This place contained 7 years of feelings and 5 years of marriage. It was time for a complete ending. The morning wind blew, bathed in golden sunlight. I spread my arms wide, breathed the freshest air in 7 years. I was divorced. Free now. I didn't even want to linger in this dirty cage for 1 second. Also didn't want to say final goodbye to Lin Wanqing when she unhesitatingly favored Lu Jingming, the second time nearly killing me. I knew from now on, I went to the train station at the fastest speed. I got the ticket I bought long ago, sat in the waiting room. I sat quietly, counting time. More than 10 minutes until ticket checking, going back to the old place, opening my new life. At this moment, the phone rang. Lin Wanqing called scolding, Suje, you're really vicious, making Lu Jingming have a depression relapse. Not only don't you come apologize, you even run away. I tell you, if you don't come kneel and apologize, I will divorce you. I smiled and said, as you wish. Nearby came an announcement. Where are you? Lin Wanqing's tone changed greatly, voice carrying some panic. I resolutely hung up, took the phone card and threw it in the trash, then carried my luggage toward the ticket gate. This time, I didn't look back anymore. At this moment, I didn't know what was happening at home, nor would I care. When the divorce cooling-off period ended, Lin Wanqing and I had no relationship anymore. I walked out of the train station. Warm wind blew, making my whole body comfortable. This was the taste of freedom. Without mother and son Lin Wenqing, even the air was sweet. Walking out of the train station, I eagerly took a taxi back to the old house. My home was in a small seaside town. My parents died early. Left behind an old house overgrown with weeds. I hired a construction team to renovate the house. When free, planted some flowers and grass. Spent a month's time. Finally arranged the house very warmly. Though the house wasn't as luxurious as the previous villa, but this was a home that completely belonged to me. I didn't need to wake up at 5 a.m. every day, making nutritious breakfast for mother and son Lin Wenqing. Also, didn't need to cook sobering soup for Lin Wenqing at midnight. Didn't need to be punished to sleep in storage for cooking with lard. Moreover, didn't need to make a table of food that my son would pour on my head if he didn't like it. I lay on the soft warm bed, through the window looking at the sea view outside. Several seagulls flew circling in the air. Everywhere emanated the breath of freedom. I never thought I could have a day to live facing the sea in spring. Moving into the old house, I didn't want to do anything. Slept deeply, making up for the sleep deficit from before. When awake, lay in the yard drinking tea, looking at the sky in a daze. Such leisurely life passed for half a month. I looked carefully at myself in the mirror. Rosy complexion, full spirit. The days away from Lin Wenqing were wonderful. Spent another half-month adjusting my state. I woke up early to exercise, practiced 2 rounds of Tai Chi, read design magazines. I used to study design because of Lin Wenqing, refused an offer from a famous design company. Later, because of disability, stayed home to relearn. The design works had some reputation. When I signed the divorce agreement, I had already thought of a way out. Returned to hometown to do work I love. This month, initially, I had nightmares every day. Dreamed of having allergic shock, lying on the floor waiting to die. The suffocating feeling like hands choking my neck, shrouded in desperate darkness. Later gradually got used to the rhythm of life. Mother and son Lin Wenqing appeared less and less, until last night. The impression in my mind became faint. I used a month to heal my wounds, live a normal life. Thanks to the inspiration of escaping the prison cage and regaining life, I created a work called The Great Sea. After publication, immediately received huge fame. I refused interviews from media, just wanted to quietly create. As more and more people liked this work, my reputation couldn't be hidden. Weibo gained hundreds of thousands of fans. Design career could bring considerable income, plus money accumulated before. Enough for me to live a carefree life. But among them was a client who greatly admired my design style, hoped to meet face to face. I didn't agree, even over the phone. The other party's voice was melodious, full of sincerity. Many times expressed admiration, not like a pure businessman. The other party wasn't angry, showed understanding, said there would be opportunities later. Today, as usual, I went to the seaside for a walk. Received a call from police. "Excuse me, are you Mr. Suje? Your child has been found." At the police station when I saw the boy, I was stunned for a long time, until I saw those clear eyes full of expectation. Finally remembered the other party's identity. Couldn't help but smile bitterly. After Lu Jingming returned to the country, Lin Wenqing's whole heart was devoted to him. Often took her son to meet him. Zi Zhuan, through training, developed serious resistance toward me. Wouldn't follow any arrangements. Once on the street, met this flower-selling boy. Directly robbed him. After being educated, angrily ran into the middle of the road. I risked my life to protect my son. Zizwan only got slightly scratched, but I paid the price of one leg. During hospitalization, Lin Wenqing took her son traveling with her first love, left me in the cold hospital room to fend for myself. Zizwan even cursed why I didn't die. Then the boy would have a new dad. The only one who visited me was this boy. Through conversation, I learned the boy's tragic background. Mother was a single mom. Terminal. Cancer. Treatment used up savings. Could only sell flowers around the hospital to survive. The boy's name was an Anne. Never saw his father in his whole life. When he saw me risk my life to save a child, very moved, asked if all fathers in the world love their children. I saw the pleading eyes of the boy's mother, nodded, Anne, and smiled, innocently said, "Mom said, Dad went to heaven. That's a very far place. It's not that he doesn't love me, but has too busy." From then on, the boy often came to the hospital to visit me, in the desperate scene of human life, being warmed by the boy's kindness, so gradually became familiar. Every time I saw Anne's strong yet expectant eyes, my heart ached endlessly. Compared to ZX1 at home, this boy was heartbreakingly sensible. After discharge, I planned to help Anne. Learned bad news. The boy's mother died in the rental room, and Anne's whereabouts unknown. At that time, I was busy arguing with Lin Wenqing. Couldn't find him, so gave up. Anne saw me, ran up and hugged me crying, "Dad." Stroking Anne's little head, eyes red, didn't deny it, led the boy home. Through questioning, turned out Anne was tricked away after his mother died. They wanted to sell him to Southeast Asia. Fortunately, the criminal group had internal problems. The boy took the opportunity to escape, found a police officer, said his dad's name was Su Jie. Just happened the criminal den was in the small seaside town. Fate was such a coincidence. I looked at the thin and weak Anne, like seeing myself. One big, one small, lost relatives. Teased by fate, like some voice secretly guiding the two to meet, I secretly decided to adopt him, only when going through procedures. Did I know it wasn't that simple? Because I was single, didn't qualify to adopt a son, unless I got married. If this problem couldn't be solved, then an Anne might be adopted by others. I had endless headaches over this. Coming home and seeing an Anne's expectant eyes, couldn't bear to tell the boy. Anne was very well behaved, also very diligent, though Young already knew many household chores. If there was a drop of water on the floor, the boy would immediately wipe it with a cloth. After I finished cooking, the boy knew to bring chairs. I took an Anne to walk on the beach. Saw the boy running ahead, occasionally turning back, calling me to catch up. Golden sunset hung on the horizon, like being in a dream. I had imagined countless times the beautiful scene of playing with a child. Couldn't find it in ZX1. Finally became reality with an Anne. Two people sat on the sand, watching the sun set in the west. Time stopped at this moment. Anne turned his head, bright sparkling eyes, asked, "Can I call you Dad?" Then Anne asked again, "So won't Dad go to that place called heaven very far away?" I stroked Anne's little head and shook my head. Anne sighed in relief, hugged my arm tightly, rubbed against me with his little head. "Dad." I made a sound of agreement. Tears fell like rain. I lost my wife and son. Heaven and earth finally opened their eyes, sent me a child. But thinking about the adoption procedures for an Anne, my heart felt helpless. Couldn't just find someone to marry. I don't know why. I suddenly thought of the female client who always wanted to meet. But as soon as the thought arose, I secretly cursed myself for being selfish with my current condition. I don't go harming others. The following time, I created works while taking care of an Anne, among them through matchmaking introductions. But knowing I was a cripple, directly refused to meet. I felt helpless, but it didn't affect my determination to adopt an Anne. Today, I took an Anne to the beach to draw seagulls. One big, one small silhouette. Under the evening light cast long shadows. Our interaction increasingly resembled a father and son. I led in chatting and laughing home, but was blocked by two people. I saw two faces again that had given me nightmares for a long time. In the evening light, two figures before the courtyard gate made the whole sky covered with gloom. After 4.5 months, meeting mother and son Lin Wanqing again, my heart tightened. Unconsciously wanted to leave, but warmth from an Anne's small hand transmitted to my palm. My body gradually straightened. The darkness that meeting Lin Wanqing used to create gradually disappeared. My expression was calm, no emotion. Walked toward the courtyard. This was my hometown, my home. Also, my soul's comfort. Gave me the greatest support. Lin Wanqing frowned, used an extremely unpleasant tone to say, "Enough making trouble. Quickly pack up and come home with me." I was amused by her arrogant and conceited tone. Slowly turned around, stared at Lin Wanqing, coldly. "Lin Wanqing, let me remind you we're divorced." Lin Wanqing nodded. "I know before you got temperamental and wouldn't come home. Nothing but jealousy. Now I personally came to pick you up, giving you enough face. Your goal is achieved. No need to pretend to be strong anymore." Not giving me a chance to speak, she walked into the courtyard, eyes swept around. Disdainfully, "This courtyard is too small, not even 100 square meters. And you like planting these flowers and grass. These useless things will just lie here as garbage. When we go back, it'll help you buy a 400 square meter villa. The inner courtyard you can do whatever you want. If you feel housework is too tiring, from now on focus on taking care of me and Zixuan. Other things can be left to the nanny." If, before, I could still remain calm, now hearing Lin Wanqing's words, I was quite angry, voice carrying disgust. "Lin Wanqing, don't you understand human language? We're divorced. No longer have any relationship. Now, please get out." Lin Wanqing's expression changed greatly with dissatisfaction. Looked at me somewhat impatiently, still wanted to continue using an arrogant tone to persuade. Beside her, Zixuan also spoke up, still maintaining his usual arrogance, childish voice full of malice. "Cripple, Mom and I personally came to pick you up. If you continue pretending, well, get angry. When that time comes, don't dream of stepping foot in our house again." Zixuan saw I didn't immediately respond. He revealed a cold smile, kicked over the sunflowers in the courtyard, trampled them to pieces. He was like a little demon making an unafraid. Anne had never seen a peer so vicious, couldn't help trembling. I quickly comforted Anne, held the boy in my arms, said, "Don't be afraid. Dad is here." Anne, after his mother died, was kidnapped by human traffickers, suffered severe trauma. I spent a long time taking the boy for psychological therapy, only gradually recovered to normal. Mother and son Lin Wanqing just entered, immediately showed crazy attitudes, made me burn with anger inside. Zixuan saw I cared more about another child, became furious, pointed at Anne and loudly questioning, "Who is he?" Anne was scared by his vicious eyes. I was extremely heartbroken. Coldly, "Shut up." Zixuan was originally selfish and domineering, had never seen me dare to be so fierce. He suddenly, like a lit firecracker, jumped 3 feet high. His eyes were red, bearing teeth, claws, wanted to pull Anne from my arms. Zixuan like a crazy little leopard. I quickly dodged. "Who is this little bastard? Tell him to get down quickly. Dad can't hug him." Zixuan fiercely glared at Anne, shouted at my face, "Dad is my nanny, only allowed to treat me well, not allowed to care for others. Cripple go die, did Dad hear?" I coldly watched Zixuan go crazy. Heard words like knives stabbing my heart, narrowed my eyes. Zixuan still wanted to rush up demanding an answer. I couldn't restrain myself anymore. slapped ZX1 across the face. The crisp slap echoed in the courtyard, violently shocked mother and son Lin Wanqing. Lin Wanqing opened her eyes wide. Cold voice. Sujie, are you crazy? The boy is your son. Yet you hit him for an outsider. Zhuan was scared by my cold gaze, burst into tears. I took a deep breath, voice ice cold. Which family's son calls his father? Word by word, nanny. Cripple, go die. Before Lin Wanqing could refute, I continued. Since we divorced, I am no longer the Lin family's slave. Moreover, not garbage for you to trample on at will. Lin Wanqing, manage your son well. Don't let him always talk nonsense. This uneducated child outside will only end up beaten to death by others. Furthermore, I warn you for the last time. We're divorced. What right do you have to demand I come back? I don't think you're so great. As if I can't live without you. You know better than me. The Lin family's resurgence. I deserve most of the credit. Now please disappear immediately. Otherwise, I'll call the police. Lin Wanqing opened her eyes wide. Heart felt like being hit hard. I couldn't believe looking at me. At this moment, she felt inexplicably panicked. Really felt I was about to leave. Lin Wanqing knew very well. No one in the world couldn't leave her more than me. Because of my love, I was willing to endure everything for 7 years. This also made, even though she knew many actions deeply hurt me, still boldly without any worry, because she felt I couldn't really leave. But at this moment, my cold voice, clearly the person before her eyes, but seemed distant, space and time gradually distant. Lin Wanqing was an extremely arrogant person, especially when facing me, didn't hide her sense of superiority at all. At this moment, panic enveloped her whole body. Her complexion was somewhat pale. Her tone became sharp, couldn't accept the reality before her eyes. Scolded, Sujie, haven't you made enough trouble? Being unreasonable must have limits, leaving without a word for months, even hitting your own son. Is this what a father does? You're being unreasonable. Nothing but wanting me to come get you? I've come before you. Still not satisfied. Fine. I won't count you hitting ZX1, but after going back you must write a self-criticism. Lock you in storage for a week. Been out too long. Really think you've grown wings. After saying this, led Zhuan outside. Lin Wanqing deliberately slowed her steps, waiting for me to cry and beg, planning to teach me a good lesson, but walking outside the courtyard, still didn't see me repent. Lin Wanqing's expression turned ugly, turned to look. Her whole spirit was shaken. I held an Anne's hand standing in the courtyard, using an extremely cold gaze to look at them. A courtyard wall separated two worlds. Golden evening light spread across the courtyard. And I radiated sacred light of freedom. Clearly, before could be looked down upon by her, now appeared unusually tall. That feeling of complete loss, even colder than when the family went bankrupt years ago. When Lu Jingming abandoned her, Lin Wanqing gritted her teeth. You should know my character. This time leaving you'll never have a way back. Ziwan held his cheek, fiercely. If Dad keeps making trouble, we don't need Dad. I walked in the evening light, headed toward the door. Lin Wanqing's eyes lit up, laughed coldly in her heart. Still thought how determined I was, as long as she showed an attitude of leaving forever. Wouldn't I obediently admit fault? She unconsciously straightened her chest, like a master examining a slave. Face regained its former arrogance. Before finishing her words, Lin Wanqing's smile froze on her face. My expression was emotionless. Said one sentence, get lost. Never appear before me again. As the gate slowly closed, Lin Wanqing's body trembled violently, eyes spitting angry fire, heart like huge waves rising. How dare Zhuzie treat her like this? Doesn't he love her? When I led an in into the house, didn't spare them a glance. Lin Wanqing stood outside, like a pillar standing in place, mind completely blank. Swan waved his small fist, angrily. Dead cripple. Giving face but don't know face. Never step foot in our house again. When Lin Wanqing sternly educated her son, in the small town I agreed to meet the female client. I wanted to give an A family. Seaside coffee shop. Through the glass, I saw the client's profile. Knew the goal couldn't be achieved. The female client sat by the window. Cold temperament. Composed attitude. Completely, without the market air of business people. Instead, had a strong artistic breath. Under the remaining sunlight, I looked at my broken leg. Quickly restrained some inappropriate thoughts. Came before her. Qin Yu looked up and examined me carefully. 4 eyes met. We both observed each other. Actually, when I entered the coffee shop, Qin Yu had already secretly observed. Heart curious. What kind of designer in the end could create such dreamlike beautiful work the Great Sea? Qin Yu extremely worshipped the work the Great Sea. So many times arranged meetings but was refused. She originally thought the author was an experienced old man. Otherwise, how could he express such rich life in his work? Didn't expect it was a young man. Qin Yu saw me, calm eyes, hidden love and expectation for life. My appearance immediately brought mysterious radiance. Through conversation, I discovered Qin Yu was not only beautiful, had unique views on design. Talking about creating the Great Sea, I spoke nonstop. Qin Yu rested her chin on her hand, looking at me before her, sometimes showing admiration and encouragement, sometimes offering insightful views. Unknowingly talked from noon to evening. I glanced at my watch, quickly stood up to say goodbye and leave. Qin Yu thought I had important business, so actively offered to see me off. When the car stopped in front of the kindergarten, Qin Yu saw the little boy rush into my arms, finally understood why I was in such a hurry. Turns out, had to pick up a child. Qin Yu once thought designers would live in isolation, without the smoke and fire of human life. But who would know? The famous author of The Great Sea was actually a daddy. At this moment, a bit of regret flashed in her heart. Already has a family. Such a pity. But as soon as the thought arose, Qin Yu's heart beat faster. She and I met for the first time. Why would she feel regretful? Qin Yu suppressed the panic in her heart, got out of the car to greet, through introduction, and curiously examined Qin Yu carefully. Suddenly, "Dad, is this the new mom you found for me?" My expression was embarrassed, wanted to find a hole to crawl into. Conversely, Qin Yu was comfortable, bent down to greet friendlily, carried an Anne into the car. I stiffly followed behind, looking at the two figures ahead, couldn't help having unrealistic fantasies. But thinking of my own condition, a divorced, disabled man, fundamentally unworthy of Qin Yu. Back at the small courtyard, Qin Yu played happily with an An. I was busy in the kitchen, glimpsed the harmonious scene of one big, one small, smiled, and An seemed very reluctant for Qin Yu to leave. Finally free, I told about an An's tragic background. Qin Yu was moved. Goodwill toward me increased further. Qin Yu couldn't help asking, "If you don't get married, then there's no way to adopt an An. What plans do you have next?" I looked at Qin Yu. Original intention almost spilled out. Qin Yu also sensed something, face slightly red, quickly turned to look elsewhere. I secretly cursed myself for being rude. We only met once. Why would she help? Moreover, it involves reputation. Some words weren't spoken, but both sides understood the meaning. Seaside night wind blew, making Qin Yu's hair flutter, moving with the wind, like a night spirit. I didn't dare ask her to stay, afraid Qin Yu would misunderstand. Stood up to leave. Qin Yu watched my panicked fleeing figure, couldn't help laughing. The next morning, Qin Yu and I took an Anne to kindergarten, and Anne's eyes wandered between us two. I coughed, wanting to remind the boy not to go too far, but Qin Yu wasn't angry, stroked in Anne's head, expression doting. We went home. Atmosphere somewhat awkward. Not having yesterday's compatibility at the coffee shop, Qin Yu stayed at the small courtyard for 2 days then left. The day of departure. Although I didn't want to part, but knew we didn't belong to the same world, so didn't hold any hope after seeing her off. And Anne was very sad. Asked, "Will Sister Qin come visit me again?" I didn't know how to answer, but didn't want to hurt an Anne's small heart. Could only stubbornly answer, yes. Maybe tomorrow, maybe never again. For a lifetime. Life continued its quiet rhythm. Less than half a month left until the adoption deadline. I had to quickly find someone to marry. Otherwise, an Anne would be sent to an orphanage. This was something I couldn't accept. I continued dating, but people saw I was a cripple. Also bringing along this troublesome child. Felt even meeting was unnecessary. Today, as usual, I took an Anne to school. Just opened the door. Saw mother and son Lin Wanqing. Mother and son Lin Wanqing came to the seaside town again. A month since last time. Attitude changed greatly, but greeting them was still my coldness and disgust. Lin Wanqing maintained her cold and proud exterior. The expectation deep in her eyes made her aura become gentle, no longer fierce. Zi Swan shrank his neck. Clear voice called once, "Dad." I laughed coldly and turned to close the door. Lin Wanqing quickly reached out her hand, carefully pleaded, "Sujie, can we talk?" Seeing I didn't react, she said again, "Just for a moment." I had developed serious resistance toward them. Fundamentally didn't want to meet. Last year's torment made me finally understand to love myself. Even if Lin Wanqing talked until her mouth broke, I couldn't go back, away from the mother and son. Only then did I experience what life was. I looked at my watch, coldly locked the door. 10 minutes? I still have to pick someone up. Lin Wanqing swept her eyes around the courtyard, gentle tone. Last time I spoke thoughtlessly. It was my fault. Actually, the environment here is very good. You're always like this. Can arrange living spaces very warmly. Suze, without you, the family loses its warmth, becomes cold. Now, at home, I feel no family warmth at all. I laugh coldly and sarcastically. Sorry, I am not interested in going back to be your slave. No. Lin Wanqing frantically shook her head, eyes red, perhaps afraid I'd misunderstand. Completely abandoned her pride. I never considered you a slave. I didn't know how to cherish. That's why I hurt you repeatedly. Suze, after you left, I discovered I can't do without you. Oh, I completely cut ties with Lu Jingming. We'll never meet again. Also strictly educated ZX Swan, told the boy to be grateful. Suze. It's that I was too slow to understand, didn't discover before. Actually, we two are really compatible. Lin Wanqing pleaded, Z Swan and I both need you. Come home. I guarantee I'll compensate you well from now on. I looked at the woman before me. Careful appearance. Exactly like the pitiful girl before bankruptcy. My thoughts flew back 10 years. We attended university together, but had backgrounds different as heaven and earth. I was just a child from a seaside town. Lin Wanqing was a rich family's young lady, a beauty blessed by heaven. Moreover, had a very compatible boyfriend, Lu Jingming, because during freshman orientation, Lin Wanqing had helped me once. I fell in love at first sight, just silently hid that feeling during school, until graduation season. I learned the Lin family went bankrupt. Lin Wanqing was abandoned, suffered severe depression. At that time, I didn't think much, but resolutely refused the $1 million salary offer from a large corporation. Stayed beside Lin Wanqing, spent a full 2 years, before she recovered. I didn't seek reward. To help the Lin family rise again, endured all hardships, could drink until stomach bleeding for a small contract. Could help Lin Wanqing avoid creditors. Got 3 ribs broken from beatings. I had done too much for Lin Wanqing. Even used all the savings my parents left to fill holes for 2 full years. I lived like half a lifetime. Finally moved Lin Wanqing, though I knew Lin Wanqing didn't love me, but believed as long as I gave my true heart, I could surely melt her. Who would have thought? 7 years of feelings, 5 years of marriage. I overestimated my abilities, was left wounded and muddy, twice nearly died at home. All sources of suffering were this evil mother and son before me. I didn't dare recall the past, afraid opening wounds would bring endless torture. Originally thought after divorce I could live the desired life. But why wouldn't Lin Wanqing let me go? I clenched my fists against the wall, face showing pain. Lin Wanqing changed color. Suje, what's wrong? I pushed her away. Don't touch me. Lin Wanqing's face immediately turned pale. She knew I hated her, but didn't think it would be to this extent. Even breathing the same air was unacceptable. Get lost. Following my loud shout, Lin Wanqing panicked and lost her wits, led her son back dozens of meters, standing not far away, showing worried eyes. I finally returned to normal, like losing strength, sat down on the ground. I recalled being tortured by mother and son Lin Wanqing. Pain crawled all over my body, eyes terrifyingly red. I took a deep breath. Hoarse voice. You see now, just coming near you makes me uncomfortable. Kid, do you think we can return to the past? Lin Wanqing, if you still have some conscience, is still remember what I contributed to the Lin family. Please don't appear in my world anymore, because I'm afraid, remembering the past, I won't be able to help but hate you. Get lost. Lin Wanqing continuously shook her head. Tears broke the dam. Wanted to explain, but seeing my fierce expression, the little hope remaining in her heart like a string, broke with a loud snap. I left, watching my figure grow distant, limping. Under the fading evening light looked desolate. Lin Wanqing seemed to see. My spiritual world had lost its original form, become shattered. Lin Wanqing couldn't hold back anymore and covered her face sobbing. She truly regretted, wanted to use her life to comfort me, but I gave no chance for redemption. Lin Wanqing finally experienced at this moment how desperate I had been initially. That pain was bone deep, penetrated to the marrow, fell into hell. Qin Yu was willing to come celebrate an Anne's birthday, returning to the small town. I didn't expect it, secretly rejoiced. Since Qin Yu sensed some intention, leaving the small town was like declaring her attitude. I had no complaints. Conversely felt it was natural, as a divorced person with an Anne and disabled. Not to mention perfect women like Qin Yu. Even small town women wouldn't want me. Just as the deadline approached, couldn't find someone to marry Anne, and would very likely be sent to an orphanage. Walking on the way home, and Anna's little face was rosy with excitement. 2 small hands held mine and Qin Yu's, singing songs learned at kindergarten. The boy was truly very happy. My eyes were moist. Didn't know how long this happy time could last. And Anne was the dawn light in my dark world, had become part of my life. Finding a woman to marry in such short time was nothing but a fantasy. After coaxing an Anne to sleep, I sat in the courtyard, looking at the silent night sky, silently saying nothing. I really like these days in my ration. Hometown, facing the sea, waiting for spring warmth and flowers blooming. If I lost an Anne, I wasn't sure I could continue living. I remembered meeting mother and son Lin Wanqing at the restaurant. Couldn't help frowning. At that time, because I didn't want to affect an Anne's birthday, pretended not to see. I didn't expect mother and son Lin Wanqing were like persistent ghosts, wanting to continue harassing. My whole body felt uncomfortable. I had made the problem clear. With great difficulty crawled out of hell. They wanted to push me into another abyss. Thinking of that mother and son's fierce faces, immediately felt troubled and agitated. I tried many ways to eliminate the irritation in my heart. Unfortunately, the effect wasn't good. Sighed once. Sat on the chair in a daze. I now didn't lack goals. Didn't lack money. Just wanted to follow my own rhythm. Live the small, happy days I desired. Qin Yu appeared beside me without my noticing. We both looked at the night sky. She asked, Anne is a good child. Are you planning to give up custody? I smiled bitterly and shook my head. If not giving up, what else can I do? Someone disabled like me. No one wants to marry me. What if I am willing? Qin Yu said softly. I initially didn't hear clearly. Suddenly reacted. Sat up forcefully. I couldn't believe. What did you say? Qin Yu turned and smiled. I am willing. My expression was wildly joyful. Excitedly couldn't catch my breath. For a moment didn't know what to say. Qin Yu said again, don't misunderstand. I just don't want an Anne to go to an orphanage. Have no other intentions. I smiled bitterly, of course. With your conditions, how could I have inappropriate thoughts? However, please rest assured, once the procedures are done, I'll quickly divorce. I stood up, sincerely bowed my head. Deep voice, really very grateful. I knew very well how much Qin Yu would lose in the end. That might be a woman's reputation. The stone in my heart dropped. I felt like a burden was lifted. Tonight, I might be able to sleep well. Looking at the figure walking into the room, Qin Yu's eyes were hazy. Using a voice only she could hear, softly said, Fool. The next afternoon, I walked out of the marriage registration office. Like in a dream, bright sunlight fell on the red marriage certificate. Our joint photo was tinged with golden light, as if blessed by something unusually harmonious. Spent another half day doing an Anne's adoption procedures. My face bloomed with smiles. Eagerly wanted to tell Anne the good news. This evening, the three of us had a joyful dinner. I was deeply grateful for Chin Yu's help. Planned to go get divorced tomorrow. Chin Yu received a phone call. Hurriedly left. The divorce could only be postponed. I held the marriage certificate, standing at the door, until a plane flew overhead. Only then came to my senses. Couldn't stop sighing. Didn't expect half a year after divorce. I got married again. My expression was confused. A wild thought arose in my mind. If Chin Yu didn't divorce, just like this formed a family, actually wouldn't be bad either. But the thought only passed briefly. I felt it was too unrealistic. I wasn't worthy of her. Also didn't hope to delay her. After I adopted an Anne, life gradually stabilized. But since Chin Yu left, there was always no news. Facing an Anne's questions, I didn't know how to answer. Father and son sat by the sea, looking into the distance. Both missing someone, tried to contact Chin Yu many times. Discovered our time together was too short. Didn't have contact information. Chin Yu also didn't actively contact. My heart felt guilty. After all, because of my affairs, harmed her from unmarried to twice divorced. I felt Chin Yu might be angry, or for other reasons. And gradually adapted to kindergarten life. Also rarely mentioned his new mom. Occasionally seeing other children being picked up by mothers. Showed envious eyes. I knew when Chin Yu next came to the small town, it would be to go to the marriage office for divorce. This slow-paced life. Time passed very quickly. In a blink, half a year had passed. Anne grew a bit taller. Little face, soft and tender. Extremely cute. Everything was developing in a good direction. The only thing that made me unhappy was mother and son Lin Wanqing coming to the small town and buying a 2-story house across the street. Fortunately, Lin Wanqing knew I detested her, never actively came over. Conversely, Zi Yuan's thinking changed greatly. Understood many things done wrong before. Shamelessly came to the courtyard. Silently brought a small chair to do homework. I didn't stop him. After all, he was my son. So let the boy come and go freely. I was surprised by Zi Xuan's change. Seemed Lin Wanqing had put considerable effort into education this half year. At least the boy was no longer like before. Eyes on top of his head. Also no longer casually called me disabled nanny. Zi Xuan had tried many times to call me dad. I didn't agree. The boy then didn't dare call anymore. From then on, Lin Wanqing left her son in the courtyard every day, then went to work herself. I saw the boy wasn't noisy or troublesome. Conversely, very well behaved. Couldn't stop sighing. After all, he was my son. No matter how much hurt before, couldn't really ignore completely. Another month passed like this. Zi Xuan in the courtyard. Every time seeing me give another child, deep, fatherly love, felt endless jealousy. The boy very much wanted to hug me, but remembered mother's words. Without my forgiveness, couldn't come near. This evening, after I finished cooking, called an Anne to eat. Zi Xuan held his school bag planning to go home. Always like this before. I didn't keep the boy. The boy could only go back across the street, sit by the window, watch his father love another child. The boy had cried and made trouble. Finally became silent. At this age, extremely craved fatherly love. Unfortunately, dad was clearly before his eyes, but like a stranger. When I rarely asked if the boy wanted to eat together, Zi Xuan was stunned for a long time, then joyfully ran to the dining table. Zi Xuan held his small bowl, looking at the food on the table. Before the boy would have been disdainful, directly overturning plates on my head. After nearly a year apart, the boy finally tasted father's cooking again. The boy lowered his head. While eating rice, tears fell. Being sensible for half a year, finally could enter dad's house, eat a bowl of hot rice. I sighed. Zi Xuan, perhaps dad can never love and protect you like other fathers do. Dad hopes you understand. Zi Xuan looked up, face full of tears, crying, I know. Dad used to love me very much, but I wasted it all. I didn't know how to cherish. Now it's all self-inflicted. Can I still come eat with dad in the future? I really miss dad's cooking from before. It's okay. If you don't like it, you can sit outside in the courtyard. I took a small cake from the refrigerator, placed it in front of Zi Xuan. Zi Xuan was stunned, eyes full of doubt. I smiled, said, Today is your birthday. Happy birthday. Zi Xuan bit his lip, stared at the birthday cake, couldn't control himself anymore, burst into tears, and rushed into my arms, cried heartbreakingly. I hesitated a bit, originally wanted to push away, but couldn't bear to. Gently patted Zi Xuan's shoulder. Zi Xuan cried, Dad finally willing to hug me. I ultimately couldn't hate Zi Xuan. The boy was too young, just misled by others. I could forgive Zi Xuan, but with Lin Wanqing it wasn't so good. I knew Lin Wanqing was outside the courtyard, deliberately leaving the boy over on his birthday. The purpose was very clear. Unfortunately, she wouldn't get her wish. I stood up and walked to the courtyard, looking at Lin Wanqing's panicked expression, said, Let's talk. Lin Wanqing, like a child who did wrong, silently came before me, looked at me. This was the first close contact in half a year, but like half a lifetime had passed. This half year she opened a branch in the small town, wanting to win me back. But as time passed, not only didn't retreat, conversely became more passionate. Lin Wanqing countless times wanted to come in and repent whatever demands I made. She would unconditionally accept. This was what she owed me, who told her not to cherish when she had it. Now wanting to say even one word was luxury. Lin Wanqing opened her mouth, wanted to say something. I shook my head, voice unexpectedly calm, said, I don't hate you anymore. Lin Wanxing trembled all over before she could be wildly joyful, was pushed into the abyss by the next sentence. Between you and me now. Actually no different from strangers. I once loved her very much, willing to sacrifice everything for her, but later received repeated injuries, twice nearly died in the villa. Finally, my heart became cold, resolutely left. Initially, I was full of hatred toward Lin Wanqing. Didn't understand why, after giving so much, she would destroy it. Later coming to the seaside town, living quietly every day, my hatred for her gradually disappeared. I knew that was a kind of mental exhaustion, not worth it. So I began trying to reconcile with myself. I thought it through. The past can't be blamed entirely on you. I loved you one-sidedly. Like a moth to flame sacrificing for you. You had every right not to reciprocate. Also had the right to disagree. The marriage was my own doing. The path I chose even if shattered. Fortunately, I've been liberated. Almost completely forgot that worthless past. Do you understand? Lin Wanqing, I don't love you anymore. Your waiting has no meaning. Give up. It's not worth it. Lin Wanqing said nothing. Tears couldn't help breaking the dam. This was the first time I actively talked to her, but every word made her despair, yet couldn't refute. She had to accept. Lin Wanqing looked at the sky. In her mind appeared the happy times together, smiled bitterly. I of course know you don't love me anymore, because I've seen how you loved me, but now I love you. Can't control my own emotions. Every day I miss you crazily, just to see you once. No matter how much grievance I suffer, no complaints, no regrets. Suje, I can finally experience how you once loved me. So uncomfortable, almost going crazy, but you've become part of my life. I don't even hope you can turn back. From now on, I'll wait for myself. You live your life. No need to care about me. I saw Lin Wanqing's determined expression, understood with her character. Couldn't easily give up, but what could be done? Late-coming feelings are cheaper than grass. My heart was wounded full of holes by her. Being able to face each other and talk was still thanks to Anan's companionship, gradually smoothing the wounds. This was already the limit of what I could do. I could find excuses for Zixuan, but Lin Wanqing was an adult. All the hurt to me. The main cause wasn't Zixuan, wasn't Lu Jingming, but from Lin Wanqing herself. Unfortunately, Lin Wanqing still didn't know where she really went wrong. After I finished speaking, I turned back to the courtyard, no longer caring about Lin Wanqing. If Lin Wanqing still didn't wake up, I would leave this place, somewhere she could never find. From then on, Lin Wanqing kept her promise, didn't come disturb me, chose to wait silently. Another month passed like this. I gradually adapted to life with Lin Wanqing across the street. Every time Lin Wanqing brought her son over, I was like a normal neighbor, smiled and greeted. I created works, while taking care of 2 children. Actually, An and Zixuan got along quite well. Zixuan knew how to yield, no longer fierce and talkative like before, even knew how to care for others. The boy always came to the courtyard carefully, surprisingly sensible, but I could never love the boy like an A. Zhu Wan knew the reason, so never demanded more. Just hoped I wouldn't drive him away. Qin Yu had disappeared for nearly half a year. No news at all. I occasionally thought of this person. Originally thought with time passing would gradually forget. After all, we weren't from the same world. I once felt love could erase the gap in status between 2 people. Later wounded and muddy, finally understood. Ancient marriages emphasizing matching social status were actually very important. Qin Yu was obviously from a wealthy family, probably no less than Lin Wanqing initially. I no longer had headaches, just felt Qin Yu's continued absence. The divorce matter had to keep being delayed. Wasn't a good solution. Today, as usual, I took care of An. Sleeping, walked Zixuan across the street. This was the first time actively taking the boy home. At the door, Zixuan stopped, softly said, Dad. Goodbye. I stroked Zixuan's head, nodded, go home. Zixuan looked up, eyes showing expectation, asked, Dad, can I hug Dad? I was stunned, but didn't refuse. Zixuan hugged me, small shoulders kept trembling, happy tears flowing. I walked the boy to the door, turned and walked back to my own courtyard, but just reaching the door, familiar laughter came from behind. Haven't seen for so long. I trembled all over, forcefully turned my head, saw Qin Yu carrying a large suitcase, smiling at me. At this moment, time seemed to stop. Qin Yu smiled, not welcoming me. I came to my senses, quickly went forward worriedly saying, Welcome. We both entered the courtyard, talking and laughing. The 2-story house across the street. Lin Wanqing stood by the window, slowly closed her eyes, let tears run wild. Zixuan sighed, said, Mom, you don't be sad. You still have me. Lin Wanqing's heart was bitter. Endless regret surged in her mind, but what could be done? Deep into the night, Lin Wanqing stood in the 2nd-floor room, distantly watching us 2 in the courtyard across, like being tortured but couldn't bear to look away. To me at this moment, face showing a smile she would never see again, eyes full of light. They really looked well matched. Qin Yu and I sat in the courtyard, a moment of silence. I couldn't help asking, Did you come back to get divorced? Qin Yu asked back, So you want to divorce me? I was stunned and quickly shook my head. Not that meaning. I just feel I've been troubling you for too long. A bit inappropriate. Divorce early. Won't delay you finding someone. Qin Yu sighed. Don't you want to know what I've been doing this half year? I actually wanted to ask long ago, but thought it wasn't appropriate. After all, it was her private matter. Qin Yu said, I spent most of this half year doing one thing. That was going to Europe to develop markets. Gained enough voice, so family can't interfere with my marriage. I trembled all over, vaguely sensed Chin Yu's meaning, but didn't dare be certain. I just felt unbelievable. Couldn't happen. Chin Yu smiled mischievously, said, "So my marriage, I can decide myself." I was so nervous my hands were sweating. Chin Yu looked into my eyes, asked one question. "Do you believe in love at first sight?" Though I was slow. I understood this was Chin Yu's confession. I was like in a dream. Chin Yu stepped before me, reached out her hand seriously. "Mr. Su, please take care of me from now on." My eyes turned red. The flame of love long extinguished blazed up crazily. Moonlight like silk spread over us. The full moon hung suspended in the night sky. Under the morning glory trellis in the courtyard, two figures gradually drew closer. Winter by the sea wasn't very cold, but still carried a bit of chill. When winter passed and spring came, all things revived. Chin Yu and I confirmed our loving relationship, though we had already registered marriage. But from Chin Yu's "please take care of me," like opening a new chapter of life. From then on, Lin Wanqing left the small town, never came again. Zi Xuan secretly told me. To mom didn't dare stay, because too jealous of you and sister Chin. Worried she'd do something unwise from jealousy. After hearing this, I felt nothing. Lin Wanqing was like a past tense. Couldn't cause waves in my heart. Actually, she should have known the outcome early, just wouldn't admit defeat. I chose to divorce and return to my hometown, already determined. We couldn't return to the past. Perhaps from here on we'd go separate ways. Today, I walked arm in arm with Chin Yu on the beach sand, under the evening light. We two radiated golden brilliance. I finally found the right person, life companion, facing the sea, spring warmth with flowers blooming,